am almost ending my day. I'm coming to you, makeup fresh, just got out of the shower. Just, you see the skin glow, trying to preserve what New Orleans gave to me. And I was on the fence about doing a video about this because I don't want to cry. I already feel it happening. I think it was going to cry. Um, but it's my truth. So many of you who've already joined me, I don't want to say only because I'm so happy with every subscriber. I have 62 subscribers. You guys have left me encouraging messages here on the YouTube platform and on threads and have told me how me sharing my story, even with the few videos and the shorts that I have already blessed and helped you. Some of you have even had family members who've gone through different forms of cancer. Maybe it's not stage 1C ovarian, maybe it's breast or other things like that. But how me sharing my story made you feel better. And with you sharing those things with me, it made me feel better too. I'm not crying or shedding tears because I'm sad. I'm overwhelmed with support. I like I said, I contemplated. I'm trying to hold this mic away so it doesn't get too kerfuffled or muffled. So I hope you hear my heart and hear me well. Today marks 4 years that I was diagnosed with stage 1C ovarian cancer. There's so many emotions that run through your mind when you think about this journey that you're on. I think it's true of anything you do in life, whether you lost a loved one, a job, or have to pivot in some way. You think about where you came from, what put you in that situation, and how far you come and what you've accomplished and what you want to still accomplish. And there's so much that has been accomplished, and there's still so much more to go. It's hard to encapsulate everything how I'm feeling because some people may not think it's real what I'm feeling right now. But anybody who knows my heart, and if you're getting to know me, know it is very, very for real. I didn't plan this for my life. I didn't set out to become a cancer patient, nor do I think anybody does. But it's something that I've been having to handle, and I've been winning. I think that's the most important thing. It's like I've been winning. No, I haven't rung the bell. Yes, I think Hollywood and TV and books and stuff kind of over fantasize what this journey looks like and when someone's going to ring the bell or not. Everybody's journey is different. Along this 4 year journey, my oncology team told me it was going to be a marathon and not a sprint. And it's been hard to negotiate that, especially the first few months and the first few years. But I think I got it down pat now where I'm like, okay, yeah, it's not a marathon, it's a sprint. And it's not an acceptance of a diagnosis because some people, because I was raised Christian and I'm still a Christian, but some people in the faith based communities sometimes think, and I think this is out of fear, sometimes think that when you talk about it, it's acceptance. Well, I have to know what I'm fighting. How are you going to win a war if you don't know what you're fighting? I have to acknowledge what I'm fighting. I'm fighting cancer every single day. And every single day is different. Okay. Cancer face is real as well. Cancer weight gain is real as well. Let's normalize that. It's not just losing weight. And I low key wish I lost weight, but we're going to be grateful because my friend who worked at the treatment center I was at for a while, she's like, I'm glad you have the body that you do because some people, it's not good when they lose all that weight. But everybody's journey is different. This is mine. And I'm really trying to embrace that. Woosah and amen. Okay. I'm really trying to embrace it. And I think I'm doing good. Um, Yeah, I think some people, like I said, in faith-based community, because this has been told to me, where people's like, you just gotta align your faith. You just gotta believe. Are you believing enough? I'm like, first of all, the miracle happened with me even getting to the emergency room for them doing emergency surgery because I was about 6 to 8 hours away for death if I didn't go in because I was internally bleeding. So let's just start there. The other miracle is that I only lost one ovary. I'm still ovulating and all those things. Okay. It's running regularly and good. Praise God for that, right? The third thing is that it wasn't stage 4, 3, or 2. It was stage 1C. So early detection. And I don't even know what kind of tests they have. There's so much that needs to be discovered and researched for ovarian cancer. And this is typically a cancer on average that a lot of older women get, like in their late 60s to 70s to 80s, not an older millennial. Just saying. There aren't many people who have the same story as me. And oftentimes I've felt alone. Now I know I'm not alone, but I've felt alone. I felt cursed. I felt like, what did I do to deserve this? I felt all the feels. But I didn't blame God. I want people to realize that, understand. I never blamed God from the very jump. I knew this wasn't God's best for me. I know this grieved God's heart. And I'm not here to apostolize or convert anybody. I'm just sharing my truth. That's the only way I could share it. But I got angry because I got angry with the righteous anger because people, especially in church circles, they don't do enough with telling people that life is going to be life in sometimes. And you can live the healthiest lifestyle and still get cancer. You can live the most grodiest lifestyle and not get anything at all. But life is still going to happen. You're still going to have forced pivots and changes. And you just have to rely on your faith. You have to have a good support system. And you have to keep telling your truth and be honest with yourself. That's the only way you're really going to get through any type of pivot in life. And we're all going to experience them multiple times. And we just have to have a community of honesty and safety and respect. And I believe that will help heal so many people. It will. I am a miracle. I want y'all to know. I am a miracle. The fact that I have more options available to me. I don't have a port in me. God heard my prayer. And there's nothing wrong if that's your story and you have a port and you have to do traditional chemo. I ain't hating on you. And you go. You keep fighting on. My fight includes daily pills of letrozole, includes methocarbamol for pain, includes meloxicam for pain, and that's just the morning. Then methocarbamol in the midday, and fish oil, and ginger tablets, and green tea for immunity support, and vitamin D, vitamin E, for pseudomide, and other things to help me with inflammation. Got 2 medications for that. Then at night, did I mention calcium pills? Big horsey calcium pills. Then I also take something to keep things regular down there. Stool softeners. I know it's not sexy or cute, but that's what I gotta do. And then I mentioned 15, is it? Yeah, 15 milligrams of gabapentin plus another methocarbamol at the end of the night to knock me out and so I'm not in pain. And pain levels and what type of pain I have is different every day. This week, it's been really throbbing in my hand, especially this portion right here. It's weird, man. It's a weird experience. I do what I can. Every day is not a good day. Some days it's just enough for me to take my letrozole, my methocarbamol, and my loxicam, and that's it. I can't do anything else. And other days I'm like, yeah, I'm an Olympic gold champion. And I'm just down in them. And when it's a day in total, I take 22 pills that include pain, treatment, immunity support. Yeah, it's not fun. It's not fun. I'm trying not to be all over the place, but I'm trying to share my truth because there's so much emotion tied to today. I remember when I was diagnosed, we were still kind of in COVID times where I could only have one person per day come visit me. I remember when my nurse, Brooke, shouts out to you, Brooke, she said, "Hey, the doctor wants to speak to you." I'm like, "Why did the doctor want to speak to me?" I was feeling good. I thought I was going to be released to go home that night. I beat not having to get a blood transfusion. All day they're monitoring me for that. That call changed everything. Um, and I talked about this in one video beforehand, so I don't want to belabor that. But after Brooke left me, after I got the diagnosis, and she said, "We're going to believe by faith that you are healed." She knew my faith. She let me have some reflective moments. And in that moment, I spoke to God and I said, "I know this isn't your plan, your best for me. I know you didn't want this to happen to me. This was not the plan you had for us when you created the world. And right now would not be a good time to take me on up to glory because Adam and Eve got a fade, a two-piece special with the name on it because this is their fault." But for real, that's what it was. Then after I got through that, miraculously, my mom and my sister called me. My sister had just picked my mom up from the airport. She made her way back home from being with my grandmother in California. And ever since then, it's been miracles. I haven't gone through this journey alone. Unfortunately, a month after I was diagnosed, my cousin on my mom's side, my uncle's daughter, she was diagnosed with breast cancer. I believe it's stage 2. You don't want to be cancer buddies with your cousin, but at the same time, we understood each other in different ways, and we still do. She's on letrozole now, so she understands, and she's winning her fight. And it's not like you want to go through this alone. And I know I'm not alone, but it did help to have someone who kind of knew what you were going through. Hers cancer is completely different than mine, but there's some intersectionality. And just being a younger woman and all the things and having to make decisions you don't think you're going to have to make in life and that you're forced and there's no choice. It's hard. And so having someone who loves you and you love them and your family, it just made it a little easier. But also what made it a little easier is my family support has been so good. My mom and my sister have been my caregivers, and they've been legends and champions. My brother, I know it's been hard for him, and he supports me really well too. He's a father and has active little girls, and I love my nieces so much. All of my nieces and nephews. My family in Chicago. My aunts, my aunties, my uncles, my cousins. My cousin Frances in Tennessee, she prays for me. My cousin Crystal, my aunt Constance, they came out during my staging surgery and Easter weekend to help my mom and my sister take care of me. My other cousin Kimberly, we've developed a really good relationship before this, but I think things helped to strengthen even more. And I love her so much, and I'm so proud of her. And I remember she sent me a message, and she said, "We love you because you're our Vanessa." And there's so many people that love me, and it's helped me. My Some of my best friends, Janae, Vicky, they've been champions. My friend Janae, she's my sister. They're my sisters too. They're family. When my mom and my sister had to go to Texas this past summer to go help for our and care for our ailing or very ill great uncle, my mom's uncle, my one of my grandfather's last two surviving brothers. He eventually passed away right before Christmas this in 2024. But when they had to go, my friend Janae, she came and she was with all weekend to help make sure I wasn't alone because I can't really be left by myself because I'm on too many medications and stuff. And she didn't treat me like I was weird. She was just like, hey, I'm family. I'm here to help. And she's always been family and always will be family. My other good sister friend, Vicky, she's been incredible. And just wanted to make sure that my birthday was so special. And took me to this really bomb restaurant and planned it all out and just wanted to make sure I knew I was loved. My community with my podcast, I'm a co-host of the Hip Hop Rewind, brought to you by the Power of Influence. My co-host Jerry, who's my big brother, who always says, be gracious and kind to me and take the time that I need when I'm not having a good day, whether it's mentally or physically. My other big brother, Anthony, who's been a big support spiritually. He's actually a pastor, but he's helped me through a lot, especially when I was angry, not at God, but church people, and helped me with that through life. My other friends I've made through the podcast, my friend Blue and Tommy and Raquel and Shantae and Brandon and Brian and A and so many people I can't name everybody. To my managing editor, Woman to Woman Talk magazine, who was my other sister friend, Brittany. She was going through her own things with marriage falling apart or divorce that needed to happen. And it's just her story to tell, but she's remarkable and incredible. To her, just having resilience and always being there to pray for me and to stand in the gap with me. I love you, Britt. I appreciate you. And my other friend, Britt, who's Janae's sister in Oklahoma, I miss you. And I know you're praying for me, and I feel the love. To the management teams I've had at jobs I didn't want to have, but I was forced to take because of health insurance. And I work at home a regular 9 to 5. I appreciate you. They gave me space to grieve different spots. And this past year has been really tough because one thing people don't let you know is that cancer doesn't stop other things in life from happening, right? I have had COVID and bronchitis at the same time. I have been in the emergency room 8 or 9 different times over these 4 years because of low white blood cell count. I have lost a lot of loved ones along the way. In 2024, towards the end in December, within 72 hours, I lost 3 family members across both sides of my family. And one of those was my great uncle. Another one was a cousin on my dad's side who encouraged me, my cousin Rose. Rhonda, excuse me, she's my Aunt Rose's daughter. It was hard. It was very tough. But faith and family has kept me together. There were times in this journey, I would say I wasn't always honest with myself. I was more worried about other people's triggers and traumas, about the cancer and how it was make them feel. But I wasn't really thinking about how I was feeling, and I didn't properly grieve, be mad, upset, and all these other things. Like I said, life doesn't stop because you have cancer. It just adds on to it. From having the disappointment of a relationship you thought was going to work someday, And it's not. So when you wanted to build a life with having a baby with someone else, it was tough. And I'm not going to really go too much detail in that story. Just know it was hard. Losing friends, having other people diagnosed, having to bury people who've had cancer. It's been tough. And I was at a point almost 2 years ago. It wasn't good. I'll be honest, it wasn't good. I wasn't self harming, but I told my sister, I said, I don't care if I wake up anymore. Thank you, Natasha. I told her that. I said, I'm so tired and I don't know what to do. And I don't care if I wake up anymore. If I don't wake up tomorrow, I'm okay with that. That was not a good, healthy place to be in. And my sister recognized that. And she said, you know what? We're going to get you some help. And I thank God for having a healthy support system. Both my mom and my sister have worked in nursing in the medical field. My sister actually works in cancer research and care with the Mayo Clinic and is a nurse. She doesn't work as a nurse, but she's, nurse. And for them to recognize and to know the importance of mental and emotional care, you have to have mental and emotional support and care in order to walk through any type of phase of life, I think, but especially specifically geared towards cancer treatment, you got to have it there. And I was not taking care of myself in that way. And when I got to my therapist, Mary, who is a part of my team, she's a part of the whole team. It's not separate, it's all together. When my oncology team was like, thank God she's added to the team. It was just like a collective sigh of relief. They're like, oh, thank God. They didn't want to push me, but they're like, you got to get into, they're like, hey, maybe like group care. No. And at the time when I had my treatment, or when I was going to therapy, starting to go to therapy, I didn't want someone to fix the situation for me. I didn't want anyone to tell me lies like it's going to be okay, you're a champion, because I didn't feel like a champion. Okay, I just wanted my truth to be affirmed, and a place to just cry and just like, am I normal? Is this normal? What can I do? How can I identify my triggers? And she said, you're normal, you're fine, what you feel is real. She's like, you're in a pit. You're not asking for help to get out the pit because you don't have the strength to get out the pit. You just need someone to kind of sit in the pit with you and hold your hand. And I was like, yeah, that's what I need. And she sat in the pit and she helped me. We've uncovered stuff. She improved herself over and over of being such a beautiful place of safety and sanctity, and allow me to shed and to grieve and to affirm and to believe and to dream that I was able to do some really good work. And when you hit a breakthrough, oh my God, I can't tell you how it feels when you have a breakthrough and you can start seeing a little light on the other side of the tunnel, right? And you start chipping away. You're not trying to get a rope to get out the pit. You're tunneling. At least for me, I was tunneling out the pit. And I've had several breakthroughs, and she's like, this is good work. And I just like, oh my gosh, I'm making progress. And when I was having anxiety attacks, because I've had those too, and it's been ugly. I'm just going to be honest. It's been ugly. It's been ugly. I haven't had many, but I've had some. And I was having a real big one because I just felt like the walls were closing in everywhere. This house, this room, the backyard. It's feeling like a coffin. And it was after one of my friends passed away from cancer. Now, her story was different than mine. And Mary, my therapist, was there, just a text away and phone call away to remind me my story was different and it was okay, and to walk me through that. And I had text my friend Janae, and Janae had called me, and I had Mary and Janae on text and phone call at the same time, helping me walk through that moment. And I will never forget that. I will never forget that. And that's what I needed. It's not to be alone. Um, and I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I've had to adjust and pivot during this cancer journey. Also in December was a real big month of change for so many different reasons. Losing multiple family members at the same time within a 72-hour time span, to being informed that my oncologist I had, he was retiring, and I had to get adjusted to a whole new oncologist, and it was just too much change to at work, my regular 9 to 5 that I would like to be emancipated from. But um, the wonderful team leader I have had for a long time, they were switching teams for me to a new one. It was too much. I was breaking down. I was crying every day. It just was ugly and nasty and horrible. And it was too much change too soon, too fast. And I still have yet to have an appointment with my new oncologist. That comes March 27th. So prayers for me, please. All the good things, positive thoughts. You don't pray, send positive vibes and thoughts. It's like a dating scenario. Okay. You don't know how it's going to be, if it's going to be a good fit. I'm like, I'm just really good with my team that I had with my oncologist. And now he's got the nerve to retire. How dare you, sir? How dare you? But my cancer treatment center, which started off with as a Cancer Center Treatment of America, and as they merged with City of Hope, I have such a great team. I have a great nursing staff that loves me, a great receptionist staff that knows me. Um, I have a great patient advocate who just is amazing and remarkable, and they were making sure that this transition to this new oncologist is safe, is good. They actually chose him and said this would be alignment, and I actually asked him if he would be my oncologist. I could have went to another person, but they just felt that it was alignment. He's a black doctor, which for me, that is commonality is good. He's younger, which is kind of interesting. We're not too far off in age, so that's going to be quite interesting. And he was willing, and it's like, she's an excellent patient. She ain't going to give you any trouble. She's very direct. She's fun. She's wonderful. I know I am. And she asks questions, and she takes her health seriously. And he said it was a no brainer. Like, yes, I want her as a patient. So I'm very blessed in that regards. I still have the same pain management doctor. Thank God for Dr. Iyer. He has been amazing and wonderful. I see him in April. And it's been a lot because the oncologist I had, Dr. Farley, who retired, he's not the oncologist I started with. I actually had an oncologist from hell that I had to get freed from when I had my staging surgery. And it was this Indian woman or something. I don't even remember her full name all the way, and I care not to. I cast it into the sea of forgetfulness, but it's on my chart somewhere, you know, that sort of thing. Anyway, she was not hearing anything I was having to say. She didn't want to hear anything I had to say. How I even got connected to her, it was that the hospital system I was in that did my emergency surgery, um, they're the ones, and the pathologists who diagnosed me, they're the ones that put me in the system with her. They're like, she was available. She was horrible. Okay. So, just advocate for your health. If somebody doesn't fit for you, it's okay. Find somebody, work at it until somebody fits for you, because your health is too important not to just, not to take that seriously. But she was horrible. Like, when I mean she was horrible, let me tell you, when I finally got up with what was then Treatment Center Treatment of America, now City of Hope, they were so great from the jump. They told me my staging surgery findings, which I was waiting for that from the other place. There was just like so much that was going on. They did right. I called them when they took me officially as a patient. I called my old oncologist office and let them know, hey, I just want to let you know I am being treated now with, let's just say, City of Hope. I have a new oncology team. They're a better fit for me. I just wanted to let you know so you guys don't keep trying to call me to schedule appointments. I'm not going to be working with Dr. So and so no more. They're like, oh, that's okay. And they're like, and the nurse asked me, oh, who's going to be your new doctor? And I was like, oh, it's John Farley, blah, blah, blah. She's like, oh, I heard of him. He's really good. Oh my gosh, you're going to, she said, I heard that facility is so good. You're going to love it there. I said, yeah, I just feel it's better fit for me and it's closer to my house. She's like, okay, best luck to you. Do you know a month after I had started treatment with City of Hope and been with my oncology team, and I had not just on my oncology team, I have a naturopathic doctor, Dr. Kravinsky, which I got to see him soon too. Dr. Ayers, my pain management doctor, and my oncologist, who was then Dr. Farley, and all the great nurses and other staff and everything. I have been working with them over a month and in treatment in a month. And this old oncologist chick had the nerve to call me. And I didn't pick up her phone call because I didn't feel safe. This chick left me a nasty voicemail, a nasty one. And you know what I did? I called the hospital system and let them know. I let them know. I was like, this is harassment at this point. I'm not being treated or seen under her. It's harassment. And she's got reprimanded for it, I guess. I don't know. But I didn't get no more phone calls after that. So I don't know if she lost her job or what. But I did file a complaint and they followed up with me and the social worker had to get involved and, you know, this, that, and the third. It was really wild and crazy. It's like a really bad breakup where someone just can't take no for answer. But the chick at that point, I remember I had my staging surgery April something something. It was like Easter weekend 4 years ago. I was supposed to find out my results within a week. Didn't hear anything from her on that. Had to find out from City of Hope with the intake and everything. And it was just a horrible experience with her. She was just trying to keep me drugged and not offer solutions to pain. It was just like a whole bunch of mess that was going on. Anyway, I'll tell a story about that another day. But when I look back over my life and just think like, girl, you went through that? You actually made it through? It's just like, I can't believe I made it here to 4 years. I really got to do everything individually one day and break the story down because it's just like, I actually lived through that. As I'm thinking of that, I'm like, I lived through that. It's been a lot. As you can see, if you made it this far, you can see it's a roller coaster of emotions, ups, downs, highs, lows, in betweens. And sometimes you're just doing donuts in a circle. That's it. I don't know what that was. But I want to say, I'm going to wrap this up because I don't want this to be too long. Because I've cried, I laughed, I've shared. I will say this. As I reflect on having my 4-year cancerversary and being here, I'm alive. I'm alive. And I'm not just a corpse living in a bed. I just got back from New Orleans almost 2 weeks ago now, doing the Super Bowl coverage for the Super Bowl. Okay. I didn't go to the actual Super Bowl, but did Super Bowl events with my mom and my cousin there. I led a women's panel for an awards show with some high powered women. I've interviewed former mayors of New Orleans and found out a state representative could be my cousin. I've met celebrities. I've met some of the victims' families of the New Year's Eve incident on Bourbon Street, and that will forever be etched in my heart. I ate beignets at Cafe Du Monde. I've seen Jackson Square at night. I saw an actual live band at the corner of Real and Frenchman right by Willie's Chicken Shack on a random Tuesday. I've lived, I just got back from that. And it's like, and its life is not over. There's so much more. So much more. And I'm grateful. I'm grateful that I could tell my story. I could tell my story. I don't know what the future necessarily holds. None of us do. Okay. But I do believe it's big, it's beautiful, it's bright. I do. I believe my story is not over yet, and I have a lot more ways to go and a lot more to do. I thank y'all for being a part of my story. Whether you're just a new person getting to know me, whether you know me and you're getting to know more of my story, I thank you. We got a long way to go, so buckle up. I don't know when it's going to end. Don't anticipate that. Just know we got a long way to go in this journey of life and all that needs to be unfolded and done. And I'm excited. I'm excited. I want to say thank you to y'all for allowing me to shed all my emotions and to share how I'm feeling for this 4-year Cancerversary. This is the first reflection. God, I'm crying again. This is the first reflection on a Cancerversary where I have joy in my heart. Or the tears are tears of joy. And they're not despair and they're not worry. I don't know what's going to happen in the future, but I have joy in my heart. I'm so happy that I'm not where I was 4 years ago. I'm happy that I'm advancing and I'm thriving. I'm happy for the relationships that I'm building and that I've made. I'm happy. And I thank you all for allowing me this little piece, a corner of the internet, to share my truth. My journey is to continue with content creation, to have more exciting interviews, hopefully, to create more stuff and to do exciting things. But I'm just happy to be here. I am just happy to be here. And I just, you don't know how much was in that breath. I'm just happy to be here, genuinely and truly. So I want to thank y'all. I didn't want to make this a 40-minute video. I didn't know what was going to happen. I just wanted to give myself space and grace to be whatever I wanted to be on today because I have earned it. 4 years fighting and thriving and beating stage 1C ovarian cancers behind. I was going to do the unedited version, but there it is. I'm here. I am here. Thank you for letting me be no makeup fresh and sharing some thoughts before I go to sleep tonight. If this story, if I align with you in any way and you haven't already done so, can you do me a favor and hit subscribe and ring the bell, hit the bell so you can be notified the next time I go live or post a video. Because actually I was in the middle of of editing a video about beignets and beignet coated items. And I just had a little bit of a standstill, and it's because of today. So thank you for letting me shed that. I'm going to be finishing that video and we'll be having that come out real soon, maybe by Friday or Thursday. Who knows? But we'll have it out this week. I promise you on that. But I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for holding space for me. Thank you for allowing me just to be what I ever need to be today. And, as I always say, let's keep our prayers up and our hopes high. And I will see you next time. Bye. Gonna turn it off right here.